as a car enthusiast, getting our licenses is something we look forward to. And some of us try to rush it and get our license as soon as possible. And that's what I did. I tried getting it as young as possible. I was 16 when I got my license. And sometimes we mess up and we don't pass our driving test on the first try. So today I'm going to be telling you the story of how I failed my driving test on the first try.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
So my top was rattling way too much, so I put it down for a change. But like I said, the first time I tried to do my driving test, I failed. And it was a horrible feeling. I felt like I was never going to get my license, so I was down. I seriously didn't I didn't think I was going to pass the next time. I was already nervous, so just failing the first time made me even more nervous. So I know you hear about people failing because, you know, they mess up when they hit a curb, or they don't look both ways before crossing an intersection, or they don't look in their mirrors too much. But one of the instant fails that I didn't know going into the driving test was I knew you could fail going over the speed limit, but I was going a lot under the speed limit. And in California, at least, going 10 miles per hour under the speed limit during your driving test will result in an instant fail. And I didn't know that, and I didn't know the speed limit in the area that I was in. So what happened was, it went bad from the moment I got in the car. So when I was driving to get to the window where the person will get into your car, I went over the curb, so I wasn't prepared at all. Of course, that wasn't even part of the test, but that was before the test, and I had already messed up. A part of the test before you even start driving is doing your hand signals. So putting your left arm straight out, that's an arm signal for going left. And if you put it left and down, that's going right. So I got those mixed up, and so I messed up there, but that's just getting marked off. You know, it wasn't an instant fail for that. It was just getting marked off. And then I messed up when I was gonna turn right on a red light, and legally in California you could turn right if the light's red, if there's no cars coming. But what I did was there was a car coming, but I saw it, but I inched forward anyways. I wasn't gonna go, but I just started to inch forward, and the person, or not the instructor, but the person who was grading my test, she kind of got scared. She was like, "Whoa, there's a car coming." But I was just inching forward, so we had already started off on a bad foot, and I was already, or the nervousness was growing inside me. So the area where I was taking my test, it was in there's a big college by it. It's a big university. So I wasn't sure if universities count as a school zone. Of course, the school zone, you have to go 25 miles per hour when school's in session. And I wasn't sure it counted as a university. I knew the cars were going faster, but I was going 35 miles per hour. And the speed limit there was 45. And I knew in this area that the speed limit was, that it's usually around 45 where I was. But I wasn't sure if, since it was a school zone, if it was the same speed limit. So I went 35, it's not as fast as 45, but it's not as slow as 25. So I was going 35, and the lady asked me, she was like, "Oh, how fast are you going?" I told her I'm going 35. And she told me, "Oh, it's actually 45 speed limit here." So I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." So I just sped up, and then she started telling me there's some crevices in the road. That's why it got me a little bit. But she started telling me, she's like, "Oh, okay, just turn here." And then before I knew it, I was back in the parking lot for the DMV. And she's like, "Park here." And I was like, "Oh, I failed." As soon as I saw the DMV, I knew that's where we were going, because we didn't even get to the part where I had to park on a curb and back up 100 feet. So I knew I failed. So I parked, and then she's like, "Oh, it's actually an instant fail if you go 10 miles under or 10 miles over the speed limit." So that kind of I got off the car and I was like, I failed. And my dad was waiting for me. He saw the look on my face. He knew I failed. So it was a bad experience from the start. So it's pretty much because I was unprepared. And the moral is, when you're going to take it, it's not a hard test, but you just need to be prepared and know what you're going to be doing. And so the next time I went in, I already knew what the whole test was about, what was going to happen, what I was going to do, and I passed right away. I don't even think I got any points marked off. So that's it. That's the story for the day. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below and comment if you failed your first driving test, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.